Hello candidates, welcome back to our revision sessions. Today I have only one question to discuss with you, and this question is a biology paper 1 question, and it is from form 4. The chapter is evolution. So this question reads, distinguish between homologous and analogous structures. Distinguish between homologous and analogous structures. I will take you back to that chapter, evolution. Remember, we talked about two types of evolution. That is divergent and convergent evolution. And so we must know between homologous and analogous which structures fall in convergent evolution and which one falls in divergent evolution. And I will define it and then give examples. Homologous structures, these are structures with similar stroke common embryonic origin but modified to perform different functions. If I may do a very small illustration of what I've said, when we talk about structures with common or similar embryonic origin, I will illustrate by the use of something like this. Let's say this is the origin. This is the origin, embryonic origin, which is common, but these structures are modified to performing different function. This is the embryonic origin, and this is function 1, and then this one is function 2. So if structures are from common embryonic origin but are modified to perform different functions, these structures are called homologous structures. So what does it mean? It means for analogous structures, the structures are going to be from different embryonic origin. So this is origin 1, and this is origin 2. Different embryonic origin but modified to performing same or common function. So that one is for analogous structures. So for homologous structures, common embryonic origin performing different functions. For analogous structures, different embryonic origins performing similar function. In this common one, this one, homologous structures, the type of evolution is called divergent evolution. Divergent evolution. Divergent. Look at my illustration. This diagram shows is like you are coming from home, you are coming from school to different homes. Then this one is called convergent. This is convergent evolution. I also want to give an example of the school analogy. You are from different homes, you are meeting in the same school. That is what we call you are converging. It's like coming into a meeting. So briefly, after saying that, it is important I give you the examples. Look at my notes. I think they are visible. You're going to be able to see them. The first example for homologous structures. Remember, this is a discussion that is brought out of the evidences of organic evolution, and the evidence of organic evolution in this matter is comparative anatomy. When we are comparing between the structures, so that is called comparative anatomy. Remember, we have several evidences of organic evolution, and comparative anatomy is among them. We have fossil records, we have comparative embryology, we have cell biology, and so forth, and all of them, I think, geographical distribution and the rest. But now for comparative anatomy, we are looking at the structures of organisms, comparing with other organisms, looking at whether they have a common ancestry or common embryonic origin or not. So for homologous structures, this one of convergent evolution or divergent evolution, we have examples. I will give you 3 examples. The first one is pentadactyl limb. The forelimb of a bat is for flight because it has wings. Forelimb of a horse, different function here. The forelimbs of all these organisms, bat, horse, whale, lizard, humans, are going to be modified for different functions. That is what we call divergent evolution for the homologous structures. Those ones of bats, we have said for flight because they are modified into wings. Those of the horse are used for running. A whale for swimming, lizard for walking, humans for grasping, and of course manipulation. You know how humans use their forelimbs. The second example is beaks. So different beaks are going to be modified differently depending on the mode of feeding. So for different types of different modes of feeding, they will have different types of beaks. For example, for a short, stout beaks, we will find that they feed on seeds. They eat seeds. For large, slender beaks, they are nectar feeders. For large beaks, heavy ones, they feed on fruits. They are fruit eaters. And for strong hooked beaks, they feed on flesh, so they are carnivorous birds. The first example was a pentadactyl limb, and we gave an example of forelimb of all these organisms, citing their different functions in as much as they are from the same embryonic origin, they perform different functions. We've come to the beaks. As much as they are from the same beaks of bats, all bats have beaks, and those beaks are from similar or common embryonic origin. But the different modes of feedings makes them perform differently. Then we go to the last one, which is foot, the feet of birds. Depending on the environment, that is the habitat where these organisms hails, and also the functions that these foot or feet are going to perform, they will have different structures. For example, we have what we call webbed feet of the ducks. You know, the ducks live in the environment where there is water, so that feet is important in swimming. Then we have heavy feet of eagles. You know, the eagles, they feed on other animals. They can take away chicks and such kind of stuff. They are used for grasping and tearing of the prey. Those 3 are examples of homologous structures. When we go to analogous structures, we have said correctly that this one is convergent evolution. That these structures are going to come from different embryonic origin, but they will perform the same function. And the examples are not very many. I have like 4 examples here. We have the wings of birds and those of insects. Wings of birds are from a different embryonic origin with the wings of insects, but the function of flight is common. The eyes of vertebrates and those ones of mollusks. Examples of mollusks, we can talk about the octopuses. These eyes of vertebrates and the eyes of mollusks, e.g. the octopus, are used for sight. Different embryonic origin, similar function. The mammals, the limbs of mammals and those of arthropods. Mammals have limbs, both fore and hind limbs. The arthropods also have what we call limbs or the appendages. They are used for the same function, locomotion. Then finally, we have thorns in plants and spines in animals. We have thorns, plants that have thorns, for example, the acacia and so many cactus and so forth. But the spines are, for example, the porcupine and so forth. These thorns and these spines, they perform the same function. However, they are from different embryonic origin, but the function that they perform is protection. So that is very nice. My learner, go do more research on the rest of the evidences of organic evolution. But when you come across homologous and analogous structures, please make sure you respond the way I have taught you. Have a nice evening and see you in the next video.